What's going on, everybody? Jacked Ramsays, Danny Marang, joined by Anfernee Simons, Trailblazers guard. And thanks for joining us, man.
No problem. Always glad to be here with Danny, man.
It's been 4 years almost of this now. But what's crazy is for those first 4 years, there was a lot of steadiness. There was a lot of consistency. And for the first time in your career, there's real fundamental change in the organization at the top and the roster. Obviously, CJ has been moved. Norman Powell has been moved. Robert Covington has been moved. And interim GM Joe Cronin has specifically called you out as clearing a path for you in your development. When you look at this right now, at this point in your career, getting ready to be a restricted free agent, what does that mean to have the organization have that kind of faith in you?
Yeah, it feels great. Just knowing that, like you said, they believe in me, and just having that reassurance that the organization believes in me and they want to see me do great and want to see me grow as a player. So that gives me, a kind of extra confidence, extra battery to go out there and want to play my best each and every night. So yeah, it's been great knowing that they believe in me that much.
With that belief, there's gonna be some bumps as Joe Cronin said. They're in a transitionary period, and they're more looking to gear towards next year. And the roster, very guard heavy right now. If you look at it right now, there's 9 guards on the roster. Not as maybe as optimal as you'd like it right now. But again, you're going to be the focus point. When you're looking at, you've got, a handful of games before the All-Star break when we're recording this. You get a little bit of time off, and then you get that last push for the end of the season. Between now and the end of the season, what is it that you're specifically looking to work on? You want to get your body right, want to get your mind right from the All-Star break. When you make that final push, what part of your game on both sides of the floor specifically are you looking to target?
Just continue to get better at, playmaking and getting to the rim. Just working on all aspects of my game and also just being used to playing heavy minutes. That's probably the most challenging about playing now is just each and every night you're starting, you're the focal point, and being able to grasp everything so fast and just continuing to be consistent with everything that I'm doing, like, taking care of my body and stuff, and just focusing on each and every game. I think when I was coming off the bench, I knew I was only playing like 20 minutes, 25 at the most. So it wasn't that bad. But now I'm playing 30, 37 now, even 40 sometimes. So I have to be that much more locked in and on point with everything that I'm doing. So I think that's just geared me up towards, hopefully next year, just being ready for it when it's real, when it's like, everybody's back and healthy and we getting the ball rolling in.
You mentioned something there, being at the top of scouting reports. What has that transition kind of been like for you? Because guys know that you're a shooter in the league, that's what you want to do. But now you're not just a shooter. You're a primary initiator. You're that pick and roll ball handler. You're getting downhill. You're setting guys up. What has it been like to go from the, third, fourth guy in the scouting report to where your name, your picture is on the top of that scouting report each and every night?
No, it's been difficult at times, and just it's been fun all in all, because it's just having that, people actually like really paying attention to what you do now. And you can tell when you go out on the court, like, okay, they're trying to take things away from me now that I, most likely would have got, 2 months ago easily, because, they wasn't worried about me as much. So it's been cool kind of play the chess game of, during the game of just figuring out what I can get and what I can't get. So it's been cool, like each and every, like,
what was one of the first things you noticed that they were trying to take away from you?
Obviously take away my pick and roll threes. They kind of been playing me just like how they play Dane. So it's not like I haven't seen it before, but actually experiencing it is always great, because that was stuff you can't, a lot of people don't get, and that's a very, very good lesson to learn, especially right now for me, is just to continue to grow into being able to overcome each and every obstacle that the defense throws at me.
So you're trying to take on to be that mantle, that primary initiator, be in those shoes that Dame is in. stringing out a defense when they throw those traps at you, getting downhill, breaking traps, breaking presses, either off the bounce or off the dribble. When you get into the summer, what is that thing when you're going into next season? You're like, this is the thing that I know I have to get right or I have to improve to take that next step to not replace CJ, but to create your own legacy, to build your own path forward to where you're on those stepping stones to working towards to being a starter, being a star, working towards an all-star level. Like those, like you said, the next steps that kind of come in succession.
Going into it, just continue to get better with playmaking, continue to, get more comfortable in reading every single defense of what they throw at me. And, at some point I want it to be almost like clockwork of saying, oh, they're doing this, doing that. Almost like how, Chris Paul does it. Like he's just like, he reads the defenses like nobody else in the league, next to like LeBron or somebody but that's the point I want to get at. And this year is a great year for me to learn how to do that. And then obviously Chauncey's been helping me out. He's been through it before. So it's nobody greater to have, teaching you than him, and obviously other coaches as well. So just like I said, throughout the summer, I'm just going to continue to do that, work on my playmaking, continue to work on shooting off the dribble, because a lot of teams are starting to switch on me. So I'm being able to knock down, off the dribble jump shots. So I think all in all, continue to do what I've been doing. And I think you can just become good and become great at everything.
You mentioned working on those switches. I was looking at some second spectrum data the other day, and your pick and roll data since basically the beginning of the year when you took this role in pick and rolls in isolations, or when you're taking shots, your effective field goal percentage is through the roof. It's one of the highest in the league. It has been you've had a tremendous period really since you took over. But one of the things that I noticed was against switches, that was the one place that you fell behind. Is that something that you're actively, that's the thing you're looking at and going, I need to figure out when, where, how I need to exploit those mismatches when they come on the floor for you?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I recognize like now that like a lot of people are switching. So when I get those switches, I think seeing how the defense is set up, who I want to move around, what shots I want to take, what shots are more comfortable for me, that I know it's in rhythm instead of just taking a shot that's, I think he's giving me, instead of just having, a couple shots or a couple moves that, I'm comfortable and I know I've worked enough on it to make them. And those are the things that I'm thinking about, going to the offseason. Obviously, right now, it's just how can I be effective, the most when I get those switches.
Talking about this whole period, this month, I'm sure you've probably seen the stat by now. The month you had in January, 23.6 assists. You joined a list of 2 players in Trailblazers history who have put up a month with more than, a game played. You got to put those weird qualifiers on it, but you had one of the best months in Trailblazers history as far as stepping into that. Nobody else has ever done that. Damian Lillard, Clyde Drexler, and you. When that kind of stuff, when you see that your ability to kind of put that kind of production, and the thing was, your shooting splits, you put up 46, 43, 88 in the month. And I remember when we had you on to start the season, one of your big goals, you said, I want to get my field goal percentage up. I want to be in that 45, 46% range. When you have a month like that, when you have 15 games like that, does that just solidify where you're at in your mind and go, I can do this? Because you and I, over the years, we've talked about it. Your ability to succeed, your game has depended so much on your confidence. Did that kind of just solidify that, yes, you belong and you can do that at that level?
Yeah, for sure. I've always believed in it. I just, it's great to be able to, live it and being able to, see myself have continuous like success. And no, it's been great. Like that last month, like I always knew I could score the ball when I able to, get the opportunity to be aggressive and throughout the stretch of a whole game, I had the ball in my hand. I think I've always knew that I was going to be able to be effective. And I'm glad like that past month that I was able to show it, have like, the best stretch in my career.
one of the things that I think kind of unlocked this for you, and I've told this before because when I was doing Outsiders, I was there pregame watching you guys go through pregame workout over and over again. And one thing that always stood out for me when you would work with Jim with Marang was you spent so much time working on the highest, most ridiculous floaters I had ever seen, and it was over and over. I remember talking like, it's like when he hits it, man, it is just money. But like I could see the frustration in year 2 and year 3 when you were going through those sometimes, and Jim would just kind of, hey, stick with it, keep working. Now you look at your numbers. Now you don't have the volume of a Kevin Durant or a Chris Paul or what, but your efficiency, you were there. You were around 50% depending on what day I look at the numbers in that non-restricted area paint, mid-range, floater range. What has that development progress been like for you when, you said you needed to work on your aggression towards the rim and setting things up and finding that in-between game? What has that progression been for you like over these last couple of years?
No, it's been great. Like with the floaters, like I've honestly been shooting floaters since I can remember. Like I always tell people, my dad like instilled in me like from an early age that there was gonna be 7-footers in the rim, by the rim, just standing there waiting for me. So I never really tried to get like at the rim. So I've always just shot floaters and shot the first shot that was available. And I think now that I'm growing, I see that I need to be able to get to the rim. So that's the thing that I've been working on the most. And like you said, like through the first 2 years, like the floaters were frustrating because that was my comfort zone and I wasn't making them. So I was being very, very frustrated about that and shooting mid ranges. Like I've been doing shooting mid ranges and shooting floaters. That's my comfortable space. But getting actually to the rim, doing reverses, doing underhands, like those stuff kind of developed over the past couple of years of just continuing to work at it. And I've still got a long way to go with that, but I think I've been doing pretty well of, receiving the criticism from my coaches and saying that you need to get to the rim more. And I think I've been applying it, instantly pretty well. So I think I just got to continue to work and continue to get better at it throughout these, last games.
You said something there when you've been applying it instantly, and you've talked about wanting Coach Billups Chauncey to coach you hard. One thing I've noticed really, particularly over the last 8-10 games, is you've gone Dame-esque in the sense of kind of feeling things out, not really looking to force the action, getting Nurk involved, letting him kind of set the tone. And then in second halves, particularly fourth quarters, all of a sudden you go from floating around the perimeter, just kind of picking your spots, to aggressive. Is that Chauncey coming out of halftime, or the assistant coaches coming out of halftime saying, hey, I need you to get 2 feet in the paint, I need you to be more aggressive? Or is that you looking at it and going, okay, it's my time, I need to be more aggressive? Or is it just kind of a combination of all that?
Yeah, it's a combination. Just first, I've just based off watching Dane play, like learning from him. He always says like that first quarter is always his filling out process of how they guard every action and stuff. So he just shooting the shots here, shooting the shots there, filling out how they guard them throughout the first quarter, even maybe second quarter be a little aggressive, and then third and fourth, that's when you go. You know exactly what they're doing on each action, and now you're just being completely aggressive. Not saying like I'm just being overly passive the first half. I'm still shooting shots, but it's just you take it up a notch when you finally get that idea of how they're guarding everything. So I've just been carrying it out. My coach has been helping me out on that stuff as well. One second. Okay, there we go. My coach has been helping me out as well, just saying it's fine. And obviously, the past couple of games I ain't been shooting the ball well like that in the first half. I was frustrated about that, but somehow I just calmed myself down, and the second half everything just levels out. I mean, everything's going to even out eventually. No matter how bad it starts, it's always going to end the way I want it to be. So, I think it shows a lot that I've been pulling it through in the second half after having a tough staff, because a lot of people just give up on the game if stuff ain't going their way in the first half. So
What has it been like for you? Because we've talked again over the years about how you've been so flat. Not, I don't want to say emotionless, but you're just even keel. Over the last 30 days, I have seen you more frustrated, more outwardly emotional than your entire career combined. And I could see the frustration in that first half of that Laker game when things weren't really going well, and you come out in that second half, boom three, get down the floor, attack the rim, and then you go from 4 points in the first half and 25 in the second. When emotionally, what has that growth been like for you? Because it's been so accelerated.
Yeah, just you know, I'm in the game a lot more. I'm so involved that you get tied into it emotionally because you wanna succeed and you wanna win the game really bad because you put it on yourself like that. I'm the guy on the team. I need to get my team into a win or give us the opportunity to win. So um, if I'm not performing well, then I'm just frustrated because I feel like I'm letting the team down. And so then like at halftime, I go and calm myself down in the corner and just let myself know it's all right. You got a second half left, and I go out there with a clear mind again, like the game just restarted, and go out there and go full throttle and be even more aggressive. And it's been working out for me doing that.
One of the things that I think a lot of people had questions on coming into this season was, can Anfernee Simons be a primary ball handler, or is he just a score first guard? You spent last summer working on your ball handling, working on your distribution. That was the thing that you really told me you were honing in on. What has it been like for you to see that kind of come together?
Oh, it's been my dad said it's been shocking to him. He said he never expected me to be able to pass like this. So, but I mean, like even through like training camp, I've been working with one of my coach heads. We just watch film every day and dissect each and every pick and roll I have, every drive, and which reads I need to make. And I mean, he always tells me how like a lot of people can't see something and apply it instantly. And he said you're one of the few players that can, and I just try to do that each and every time. If it doesn't matter of making a corner pass, I'm going at the opportunity the next time I'm trying to make it a pass anyway. So I think that's been the best part, just watching film and applying it instantly. And I think that's been helping me out a lot, is knowing where the defense is supposed to be, knowing where my teammate is, and just trusting all the work you put in, all the film you watch, and seeing it come to life. I've always thought I had the ability to pass. Like I always can make passes with both hands. Just I could never really see it at first. I can make the passes like left hand over the top. I can always do that stuff, but I never really saw the play in general. So I never really understood how to make those passes. So
Are you watching tape differently now that you're that lead ball handler?
yeah, for sure. Just now it's mostly focused on who's guarding me, how they guard other people, what can you do to get a foul on them, how can you attack them, what areas are they struggling on defense. That's like what I'm watching now. Before it was just watching my clips and what I need to do better. Now I'm watching the other team most of the time, just seeing what I can do, because I'm not really, I got a long way to go, but I'm at the point where now it's more about who I'm playing than me fixing all these clips of me missing 500 passes.
What has it been like to take on and have teams throw challenging assignments at you, whether it be a tough on-ball defender, or to switch a longer perimeter defender on you, to deny the things that you want to do? What is that when you're in game and you're making your adjustments as a playmaker? You've talked about wanting to get 2 feet into the paint and find those corner passes. But let's go back to the Miami game in Portland before you guys went out on that trip, and they were just in passing lanes like crazy, just disrupting things. When you see that, when you see those kind of coverages and how they play, what can you take from that in the game tape and learn and kind of hold for next time, so you don't either make those mistakes or you learn from mistakes, or you kind of evolve your gameplay.
It just seeing who you want to attack. I think that's a lot of things that Chauncey's been harping on, is we need to get certain people in actions when we need good shots. So just learning on the fly in the game of who you want to pick out, call a screen, get somebody away, or run somebody through just to confuse the defense, instead of just kind of standing and watching and calling in one person. I think that's the thing we've been working on most, is just having constant movement. So good teams like Miami are always gonna pick up on things when things are stagnant, just sitting there waiting on us. So, and even the Bucks do it really well. So I think we're working on just getting everybody movement, and just throw different actions at them. I think that's been mostly what we've been trying to do. They've been trying to get me to see.
If you take one thing from Chauncey that he's tried to apply to you, and you're trying to apply to your point guard play, what's that one thing?
I would say mostly it would be definitely talk, just being more vocal out there, and having a voice, making sure they constantly hear you. I think that's the one thing he's got on me a lot about, and just seeing the game, picking out who you want to action. Like he's literally most, like at some points during the game, he literally just tells me what to do every time. Like when I'm going down the court, I look at him, he says, go get him. And I just go get him, and now I'm seeing what he's talking about, and we just go from there. So it's kind of like a constant communication of who we want in action, and what we want to do. So it's been great being coached by him. He's taught me a lot, for sure.
Just the idea of how he saw the game as a pro, kind of imparting that on you.
Yeah, for sure. Just he's a player, so he thinks like a point guard when he's coaching, and so he's like in the game with us as a point guard, and he's just telling me exactly what he's been through and what he sees.
All right. Well, hey, man, I don't want to take any more of your time, because you've got a game coming up here tomorrow, and then a few more, and then you get a little bit of rest.
Man.
Some much-deserved rest.
Hey,
go ahead, buddy.
I always appreciated, All-Star break for getting a little break before, but now I'm appreciating more this time.
Well, hey, man, I appreciate you joining us, man. Good luck the rest of the season, man. Stay healthy, and we'll catch back up with you this summer. And, again, thanks, man. You take care, and we'll talk soon, all right?
No, I appreciate it, Danny. Always good seeing you, my guy.
You too, brother.